think we are live. Pretty sure. 99% sure. They're telling me I'm live, and I believe them. What's up, Ben? What's up, Tim? What's up, Cushman? What's up, SMY? Frank C. Coots. Ian. BC Rich, Stanovan J. What's up, Dave? What's up, Cody? Yeti Matzi. Tactical. What's up, Mark? Thunder Falcon, Majestic PB&J, Cat, Pete Brown, Frank C. What's up, Lukes? What's up, Cowhide? What's up, Papa Blue? Double R Guitar. What's up, Quentin? Jay Shaft. Tim. What's up, Wendell? Browns fan, Dave O. Pete Brown. What's up, William? What's up, Strat Tom, John Doe? Yeah, I got all my hairs cut. I go, give me the middle-aged retired guy. He was like, done. It's shockingly similar to my haircut of 20 years ago. What's up, George? What's up, Jason? This is for my speaker. What's up? Remember this, speaker boy? This and other fabulous prizes can be yours. You probably forgot. Is this for your speaker? Actually, this one is, yeah. What's up, Terry Himes? Dennis Ellis, Gabe, funny-ass guitar guy, the crazy mouse. They're all here. What's up, Reese? What's up, guitar man? Just more gray, exactly. Good to see you, KG. Midnight in Belfast, man. I'm retired? No, I only hope to be. Dare to dream, right? But I was talking about it with my wife. You know, I might go with the early retirement. You know, they say don't wait if you don't think you're going to last long. And I'm like, you know, statistically speaking, I probably don't have, you know, the longest longevity going in my favor. You know. What's up, Strat CPO? What's up, John Banks? It is Saturday again. What's up, Mr. Back? What's up, JM in Las Vegas? That actually is a part of my 9/11 story. Vegas was the destination. That was, oh God, that was such a crazy day. I feel it would be better on the other guitar. This is almost a little too twangy. This guitar is very twangy. I feel like the blue one is thicker. It's got a warmer, thicker, more... they probably use a stronger humbucker. This is probably a ceramic. Well, that could be Alnico. It's up in 1 a.m. in Germany. Wow. Got the Head Rush MX-5, and you like it so far. Cool. I've had You're the first feedback I've had about the unit. I don't know anybody else that has one yet. What's up, Richard? You. What's us, SMY tree? You slept through 9/11? I almost did. My wife got me up. She was my fiancée at the time. That's French. This guitar is such a great little blues monster, huh? What's up, James? What's up, trolls? The blue one has a DiMarzio humbucker. Okay, so that's probably the difference. This is probably, if I had to guess, just, you know, whatever it came with stock, right? That would make sense, because I did think the other guitar sounded thicker, like more like a meteor, without a doubt. And it's funny because last week when I was listening to it in the headphones, I was like, oh, I like the gold one better. But when I listened back to the replay, I thought the blue one sounded better. I thought it sounded thicker and stronger and more robust. And when I went back to this this one in the video, I thought this sounded more like a Strat, more twangy, you know. So there's that. What's up, Tone Lives? What's up, Terry? Where's the blueberry muffin and glass of milk? I know. Gone. I ate it. I done there ate it. It's fragile. Must be in Italian. Donut remover. That neck pickup. It does have a nice little blues twang to it, you know. Is Cam here? I have not done the new Spark update. I will, I'll check that out soon. Coffee today is, we're still doing the Starbucks French roast. It's all they have at Costco now. And if you buy it at the supermarket, they rake you over the coals. Tony got an Ibanez JS700 with P90s. Tss, look at you, hot stuff. Nice. Nice. I do like the JS series. You know, I played a killer one at the first GitCon. The one with the Sustainiac. You know, they have the Sustainer pickup in the neck, and it was in like Hot Rod or like Muscle Car Red or something like that. You know, Race Car Red. And it was that was an amazing guitar, but they're pretty pricey, about $2,500. And you'd see them like $1,800, $1,900, $2,000, you know, used on Guitar Center, $2,200, $2,000, $1,800 if you're lucky. They had one up there for like $1,250. I was falling all over myself to buy it, but it was gone. You gotta be quick. What's up, Billy Murphy? What's up, Andrew? Best sounding guitar. It does have a nice twang to it, doesn't it? But it's got a nice, sort of like upper mid crunch to it. A little jangly. Look at that bee's a little. That's in. That's such a hard riff. I guess I should do it then. Come on, remember it. Remember it. What am I more partial to, rosewood or maple? I kind of like them both. I really can't say I like one over the other. I got the JS 2480 MC Muscle Car Red. There it is with Sustainiac a couple of weeks ago. There you go, bro. That's the one. Guitar is sick. Also picked up the JS 2400. Didn't realize the JS series had such comfortable neck profiles. I agree. Yeah, Joe got it right. You know, I probably don't admit like as much as Joe Satriani has had like an effect on my playing and just my. He is. If I look back and think of the guitar players I listened to, Joe Satriani is one of them, and I sort of rediscovered him about 10 years ago. And yeah, I have the window open, so you're gonna see some cat activity. Do you have the new roasted Charvel neck Charvel? I have not, but I do like roasted necks. I am a fan. The blue one didn't seem to be in tune. Yeah, maybe. Was that one tougher to stay in tune? You know, I haven't changed the strings in 4 years, right? These have been in the back room, so you know, it's probably a long time between string changes. I mean, if I was, now that I have the sweet, you know, artist deal with friggin' Ernie Ball. Love you, Ernie Ball. Love you. Call me. I could probably string them up for him, but I only got 10s. I think that's what this is. These feel like 10s. Well, maybe not. Maybe these are 9s. No, I don't know. This could be 10s. 10s, 9s. What's up, Don Don? How do I feel about stainless steel frets? I like them, but I don't think I want them on all my guitars. They are a touch bright. Bobby's into house. Bobby was into house over here today. Bobby helped me try to snake a fiber optic cable down a chimney, and we didn't. We spent 90 minutes trying to get that goddamn snake down that friggin' chimney, and we got close. I've done it before. I've already pulled 2 Cat 6s up there. I just want to pull up, you know, some, what do I have? I've got the DM5, I think. I got the most expensive, nicest friggin' fiber optic. I think it's good to 800 gigabit. And nothing. No luck. Big nothing. Big wonk. Yeah, speaker. Is that for my speaker? Hey, you. Yeah, that could work. Don't make me type back to you. That could work, definitely. Sometime between 3:30 and 4:30. Yeah. I think that does work. That would be Friday, this coming Friday. So, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let me just check the old calendar, Rooney, just to make sure I don't have anything on there. And I don't. I do not. I'm on GoPro watch right now. Next week, dudes, the new GoPro is going to drop. It just is. Just trust me on that. New GoPro 10. Yeah, we could try it again. It was fun. Oh, it was fun. Dude, I'm like, my muscle here is hurting from like leaning over and whacking that stupid snake on. Get in there, you! Oh, it was a massive fail. When you're in the Cat 6, you should have tied a string to it, I know, right? I have, and Bobby can attest to this, I actually ran 2 Cat 6 lines. Because, what if I punch down that Cat 6, right, to the box upstairs, and I have a patch bay down here? What if I punched it down and I couldn't get gigabit? I was so bummed I wouldn't get gigabit. Technically, with Cat 6, I could potentially get, I'm going to go to 10 gigabit. But I don't want to give up the copper spot. I want to use the fiber optic spot with the SBC, right? So I have everything. I got everything. I even got the handy wall jack, right? So one line, you know how you do it. You spool it up at each end, right? So I'll have a big spool upstairs and a big spool down here. So in case you want to move it around, you got it. And I think I got 20 meters, 66 feet. That's plenty to go from upstairs to down here and have plenty left over. And then I have another, what is it? Yeah, no, I have 30 meters and I think 20 meters. I think that's what it is. And the 20 meters is to move it around up there and to connect it to the switch upstairs. And then I'll have a 10 gigabit fiber optic backbone. You know that old chestnut. Probably stuck getting on the flu crap. Well, you know, it could be fire stopped. I mean, clearly I did it twice. I already did this twice with 2 Cat 6 cables, all right? What I could do is just say, one of those Cat 6 cables, the reason why I did 2 was because, God forbid, I punched one of them down and it didn't work or there was a problem. I was going to go mental, and I just figured pulling 2 up at the same time doubled my chances of one of them working. And one of them couldn't bust past 100 megabit. And so I switched to the other one and I got my gigabit. And I was happy because that was the fastest I could go. Knowing that, whatever the one that's not being used right now is, right, that's the one that I could use as a line to pull up the fiber. You see what I'm saying? Right? But I got to figure out because it's all stapled up. And it's running over here through this back thing. And it's like, I built a wall over that line. Anyway, you know. This is fascinating. Get excited by coaxial cable talk. Yeah, you know. Tape the fiber to the Cat 6 and drag it up. Yeah, right. And then I could drag another Cat 6 too. Yeah, right. Oh my God. No. There's no fire in that. There's no fire in that chimney. In fact, the chimney, we got a high efficiency furnace, so that just goes outside that uses PVC pipes because, only 4% of the energy it creates actually goes out the chimney, unlike about 30% with most conventional, right? 20%, something like that. This thing is like 96% efficient. And triple burn, bro. And so the only thing that's handling is my gas hot water heater, which barely puts out any energy. In fact, sometimes I even worry about updrafts with it. Steve, I need help. I'm addicted to Guitar Center used gear. I search it 10 times a day, and I have a house full of gear. That actually sounds really normal. That does not sound like an addict. And anyone who tells you that is just jealous. We know that. No. My gut tells me you're doing the right thing. And no more IT talk. I'm not working today. And that's when he plugged his Schmelden into the... I did find the Yamaha owner. He's coming over this Friday. I literally just got the email. I'm checking 15 times a day. Yeah, that's about right. That's normal. I think if you go to like 40 or 50 times a day, let's face it, the stock hasn't changed much since the last time you looked. But 15 times a day, no, that's about right. Don't let them tell you you're crazy, okay? You're not. It's very, very sane and logical behavior. All right, so we should talk about, we're about 20 minutes in. We'll cover the first topic, which is remembering 9/11. Let me just give you a little... Am I going to slideshow this? I think I am. I'm slideshowing it. I'm slideshowing it. Hold on. Calling up slideshow. All right. So, back then, I just think I was a happier guy. More happy-go-lucky. Here I am in my usual jovial self. Sitting in what, I think you could admit is and I hope you will finally admit, it's a pretty sweet office. I'm just saying. That was, that was a room with a view. There it is, at night. Nice winterscape over the Longfellow Bridge. Hope you straighten out your Longfellow. Anyway, there I am in the spring of 2001. And that's house hunting, Steve. Looking for a house. And I'm yeah, you could not have asked for a worse picture. Like, knowing now, I would never lean back like that with my chin down. But yeah, no, that's me. That's me. Very, 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 very happy. That's happy, Steve. And there's my view. My pretty sweet view. I'm looking for a house. I just forgot how sweet that view is. And we find one. I unfortunately, the crappy cameras back then, this is the highest resolution I have of this friggin' house. But this is a house we're going to buy. We're all happy. This is like the spring. You can see it's springtime, right? Right there, there's the forsythias popping. See that? Forsythias. So we're looking for a house. We can't find a house. We stumble upon this house in Boston. This is in the city. And it's up on one of the hills. You got your Bellevue Hill. You got your Metropolitan Hill. You got your Mission Hill. You got your Fairmount Hill. That's what this is on. This is on Fairmount Hill. This is why it's sloping up like this, because it's up on a big friggin' hill. And this house is surrounded by other fat houses, like this big fat, Victorian next door, and this big Federal. Look at that big fat Federal Colonial across the street. I'm like, nice house. Nice friggin' neighborhood. This is looking pretty good. What's the inside look like? Oh, look, here's the dining room. It's paneled with built-in cabinets and seating area, and, I'd say it's done. Behind my dad, there's my mother and father. Behind them, there's a 3-season porch, and, there's this big killer staircase, double staircases front and back, and you know, I am smitten. Big double parlor with picture frame floors and a picture molding on the top, and you know, I'm smitten. I'm friggin' smitten with this house. I want this house so friggin' bad. I can't even tell you, this enormous concrete front porch. Just beautiful. No other house had the details like this house, okay? Not even close. And compared to the other houses, you know, it was relatively cheap. we were pretty much locked in at $305,000, which might sound very expensive where you are, but trust me, in this area, that is giving it away. Okay, that house today is probably worth $900,000. All right, just to be in the city and have that kind of real estate. But anyway, it's you know, at the time we lock in at like 305. The problem is they're going through a divorce. The wife, at the age of 40, has a midlife crisis and decides that she's going to become a heroin. She starts hanging around with the wrong crowd, decides to try heroin. Turns out she liked it. I mean, like, really liked it. I mean, like, really, really liked it. Anyway, they're going through a very ugly divorce, and she can't have custody of the kids, and this is like, you know, it's a goddamn nightmare. But they're selling us the house, and the husband's like all for it. He's like, dude, I want you to have the house. I want to sell you the house. I'm like, I want to buy the house. Let's do this, right? So we're doing this. So we're doing this deal, and I'm only dealing with the husband, right? And I'm not really dealing with the wife because the wife is booted out of the house, right? And I'm only dealing with the husband. We're going to close on June 30th, right? June 30th. June like 23rd or June 20, I guess it would be the 22nd, I got laid off. And I'm like, oh my God. But you know what? They don't need to know about that. This is all just going to go through. It's all going to be fine. We have plenty of... We had been banking our checks for like 2 years because we had been booted out of our apartment. I was living with my parents. They were charging us no rent. And I had just got a big raise. And my wife was earning more money. And we were just raking in cash and had very little expenses, right? So we are poised to like buy a friggin' house and get this done. And we gave him a deposit. I think it was $16,000. And we're all set to close. And it gets to... So I get laid off that Friday. But I'm like, nobody needs to know anything. Tuesday comes and I get a call from my lawyer, who, it just weirdly enough, is like the president of the Massachusetts Conveyancing Association, and literally wrote the book on conveyancing of property in Massachusetts. I mean, like, when we were at the closing, other lawyers were coming up to her and saying, oh, I just want to say how much I love you and how much of your work and all this stuff. She was like a goddamn rock star. Of course, we don't know this. We got her because my wife just called some big law firm, and she's like, we're buying a house. And they were like, no, honey, you're adorable, but no. you don't have the money for us. Trust me, we're not, this isn't what we do. But I know somebody. And of course, this bigwig over there knew this woman. And when we called her, she was like, sure, I'll be happy to do it. Turns out, I swear to God, because, you know, I'm in that industry, or at least I was for a long time. I remember looking in that book, oh my God, there's her goddamn name on the friggin' cover. I mean, she literally wrote the book. So she calls me and she's like, this lawyer on the other side, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be trouble. Not the husband, the wife. He's basically saying that they don't want to close. They want to push the sale off, and I'm telling them no. So it gets to like Wednesday. Again, we're slated to close on Friday. And my lawyer calls me again. She's like, we got trouble. He's going to file bankruptcy. And that will halt the sale of that property. There's nothing you can do to stop that. And this is going to like be held up for a little bit, and there's nothing we can do to stop it other than just see what happens. Okay. So, sure enough, the next day, I think it was the Thursday before we're supposed to close, she runs down and files bankruptcy. And that puts an automatic stay on the sale of the house. So I go to the broker and I say, you can give me my money back, and we'll pick this up later on. And the woman's lawyer was like, oh, no, that's our money now. That's like part of the bankruptcy estate. And of course I knew it wasn't, but it was just pissing me off in a major way. So I said, okay, all right. We'll go to the trustee hearing. Trustee hearing is 6 weeks later. That is like the middle of August. So we go to the trustee meeting in August, and I knew something was going down because, like, I would drive by the house occasionally just because he had moved out. The house was empty. And I went by, and the house was all lit up. I said, oh, geez, he moved back in. He moved back in. So I'm telling you right now, he's... because he needed the money for his house, and his house fell through. And so he had no place to go, and now he didn't have a place to go. And I could see this whole thing just falling apart. We go to the trustee hearing, and the guy's like, I can't sell you the house. I need the house now. This is all falling apart. I'll see you like maybe in a year. And I'm like, oh, we're out. And luckily the trustee right there basically told the broker, give them their money back. That has nothing to do with this bankruptcy. You had to sell them the house to get the money. You're not selling them the house. And so this is held in escrow because we're not completing the sale. You give them the money back. And they were like, okay. I literally followed her back to her office from downtown Boston. Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there right now. Cut me the check, which they begrudgingly did, but they had to. So we get back to the house. This is like August 7th, I think. August 8th, something like that. And we get back to the house. We got our money back. We got no house. The market is like drying up like crazy. And we're kind of bummed out. I mean, we're in like a major friggin' depression. And my wife goes, my fiance at the time, says, how about a trip to Vegas? And I was like, yes. That all makes sense. We go to Vegas, right? We live like kings for a couple of days. We forget about this stupid asshole with his stupid house. I didn't even walk. It was crabby. Right? I mean, that's kind of like what I was. I'm like, yes. This is why you're my fiance. Because we're going to Vegas. Yes. Big Vegas trip. Vegas. So we go through JetBlue. So she goes, I'll put in for a vacation, and we will leave September 11th. Perfect. September 11th. And we'll come back that Friday. We'll fly out September 11th. We'll be there like the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th. Right, so that was like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think we'd fly back Saturday. We'd have like a Sunday day to recover. And so we were looking at flights. We were looking at JetBlue flights out of Boston to go to Vegas. And it was really down to just 2 flights. There was one flight that left early in the morning that made a stop to LA. And then we'd land in LA as a part of that flight and then stick around the airport for 4 hours and then catch a flight out to Vegas. But we would be in Vegas by like 11 a.m., right, to check in, to have a whole day in the city. But then you'd have to get up early, and we'd have to sit in LAX for 4 hours. And I was like, I don't like sitting in LAX for 4 hours. So we get the JetBlue flight. There's one at 7 p.m. It's a 7 p.m. flight. With the time exchange and everything, by the time you get out there, you land at like, I want to say it's something like 9:30 or 10 p.m. Right? It's actually not too bad. And I said, listen, I would rather go there. She goes, it's a direct flight. I said, I don't like sitting in the airport. I don't want to sit in the airport. And she was like, okay, all right. I will book us. We're booked for September 11th. JetBlue out of Boston. We're not going to take the LA one in the morning. We'll take the straight Vegas one at night. Booyah. Done. So, September 11th comes. And I'm sort of sleeping late because I'm hoping to stay up that night. Maybe do a little gambling, maybe. So I'm sleeping late. I'm in bed. But my fiancée, my wife, and now, but fiancée at the time, came into the room and she goes, hey, I was just watching the Today Show. There's like an accident. Like a plane just hit like the World Trade Center. Looks like there was an accident. I was like, oh, okay. And then she came in like just a couple minutes later. She goes, another one just hit. It's like intentional. Get up. And I was like, whoa. And I remember getting up and going into because we had the upstairs broken in. My parents basically, they had expanded the first floor so much that they never really used the second floor. So the second floor was broken into 3 rooms, really 4 rooms, an office, a bathroom, the bedroom, and then a living room. And in the living room, I had a big TV. And so I got up and I went into the living room, with my fiance, my wife now. I just remember sitting on that couch and watching all that unfold and thinking over and over in my head, you were almost on that flight. You were that close. Because I remember her saying, she goes, it's JetBlue. I go, out of Boston? She goes, out of Boston. She lost her gym teacher. He was on the flight. Everyone around here knows somebody, like sort of 6 degrees of separation. You know somebody who was on one of those flights, because they were packed flights, So we're like in like a state of shock. And I remember she said, we were getting hungry. It was getting around noon. And all the flights had been canceled. She's like, we're not going anywhere. She's like, we're not going to Vegas. And we just had a call out to Vegas because we had booked a show. We had booked a show and it was like non-refundable. And we called them up and we're like, there's no way we can attend. Our flight has been canceled. And they're like, no problem at all. And they refunded our complete money. They were like, fine. And I just remember, like, we got hungry and we wound up going. There was a diner, like, very close to us. I go, let's just go down to the diner and get some food. And just even the ride over there was so surreal. Listening to Stern and Gary screaming like the skyline has changed. Like, it was just, the whole day was friggin' surreal. I remember we walked into the diner and the waitress was like, my mom was on a flight. They grounded her in Atlanta. We have no idea how she's getting home. And we were like, wow. I mean, it was crazy. We get back from the diner and we're getting out of the car and walking in, and there was a roar overhead of a jet fighter that I will never forget. That thing was so loud. It was crazy. And we sort of knew. I said, we're never getting a house, and this is like the worst day I can ever remember. This is like the worst. I can't remember word. I mean, it was just the worst day. I can't remember a worse one in my lifetime. And today kind of reminded me of it. Because it was crystal clear blue skies here today, like it was that day. And a little crispy, a little fall preview, just like today. So anyway, the next weekend, we didn't do anything. That following Sunday, we sat around, the whole week. And my wife was still going into work. And I think the week after that basically said, let's stop looking for houses. Because I just don't think it's going to happen. And I kind of agreed with her. But not the Sunday after 9/11, but the Sunday after that, I had been reading the papers, and anyone who searched for a house knows this. Just like when you search on Guitar Center for a new guitar, it's hard to turn that switch off, right? It's hard to break away. So that, not the Sunday after 9/11, but the Sunday after that, I remember getting the Boston Globe, which is pretty much where you found a house, was the Boston Globe. And going through the real estate section and just circling 3 houses. This house was one of the 3 houses. We wound up buying this house. And I remember going to the guy. We waited in lines to get into the rooms. It was so busy at the open house. And I said, did you have an open house last week? He said, I did. Nobody showed up. I said, yeah. Maybe, yeah, I'm sure. It was not a single person. But this week, everybody was there. And we wound up buying this house in November of 2001. And just the purchase of this house, that whole other thing, everything, just all felt like it sort of tied into 9/11, just because, like I said, we had a flight that day. JetBlue refunded our tickets, the hotel refunded our reservations, and the shows refunded our show money, and we sat at home watching the devastation like everybody else. They were dark times. They were really, really dark times. Now, I did have one spot of redemption. Sort of right after that happened, they were worried about, in between buying this house and 9/11. I think it was then. Or maybe it was pre-9. No, I think it was after 9/11. I have to find my receipt now and see exactly when I bought it. But I went out and bought my most expensive guitar ever. The president went on and said, we can't let this, deter, people, the economy and people spending money. And I was flush with cash, having gotten my deposit back, and for a whole bunch of other reasons. I had, the largest bank account I had ever had in my life. Still don't have a bank account nearly as big as I had at that particular time. I was doing pretty well. And I ran down to Guitar Center and dropped about 17 and change, almost $1,800 on a a handmade, all solid wood Larrivee acoustic guitar, which I still have. And that was sort of like my way of trying to just do something. I mean, what could you do other than sit at home and shake your fist at the TV? I did it by trying to stimulate the economy. But it was that was a tough time. That was a real tough time. And then we got the house and we moved in, and right after we moved in, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. which, was a little ray of sunshine in an otherwise bleak year. And we wound up having kids not too long, a year after that, 2 years after that, something like that. So, it was quite that was pretty much how our marriage and our in our house. And I got this digital mixer. I got this the Christmas before Christmas 2000. My wife bought me this for Christmas. And because they were blowing them out at Guitar Center. And so she got me one of these. She got me this for Christmas. We were buying I bought her like a Movado watch and stuff. I mean, we were what do you need? What are we doing? But those days ended as soon as we bought a house and had kids. What's up, Aljon? Yeah, so it was I can't help but think of just how close we came to being on that flight. And it was literally just me saying, I don't want to do it. And my wife was making arguments for why we should go there earlier. But even she was like, getting to Logan in the morning, they didn't have Massport yet, I don't think. I don't think they certainly didn't have the Silver Line yet. So there was you couldn't really get to the airport as easy as you can get to the airport now. It was basically you had to drive in and park. And she's, we didn't want to do it. And at 6 o'clock in the morning to beat the traffic for a 9 a.m. flight, and that was it. That, and I didn't want to stay over in L.A. I was like, I hate layovers. Let's just go direct. I don't care if I lose a day. What's up, Christoph? Bought a house 2 years ago and the kid. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, right? It's amazing how much money it drains. I know. Or it could, we could have, there was a chance that, what if we had taken the flight the day before? What if we flew to Vegas on Monday instead of Tuesday? We would have been stuck in Vegas. They didn't resume flights for 2 weeks. It's like we would have been driving back. It's like, we got to stay in the hotel? How long do you let you stay there for free? Before you're renting a car and driving from Las Vegas to Boston, which is probably, a 4 or 5 day drive? House prices are going crazy. Yeah, house prices are crazy here too. Is your buddy getting those Yamahas back this week? I got an email. Dude, I just saw your video. Whoa, dude, video. I just saw it. Whoa, yes, those are mine. And so he's going to come over, I think, this coming Friday. And he's going to pick them up. And they'll be going back to their rightful owner. Oh, that was good. Real good. Yeah, Vegas starts to suck after about 3 days. Exactly, because you're flat ass broke. You've played every game. You know, you're completely tired of how quickly they devalue money. That you never saw a greater devaluation of money than you do in Las Vegas. They really, really, the psychology in that place is through the roof. Yeah, best thing you ever did is buy a house. Yeah, paid $150,000 today, worth close to $1 million. Yeah, we keep getting offers for our house for around $700,000, which is more than double what we paid for it. And our house needs to be painted. They're like, as is, $700,000. I'm like, no, because we can't. We have no place to go. You know, so the inventory right now is so low. Yeah, Vegas to Boston, almost 2,800 miles. Yeah. American and United flights, no JetBlue. I could have sworn one was JetBlue right out of it. So it was then maybe it was whatever that flight was, that first flight that hit, that was from Boston to L.A. That was the flight. I am positive of it. So maybe we took JetBlue at night, and it was some other flight in the morning. But I could have sworn it was either a Delta or a JetBlue or something like that. But anyway, we are sure, because I remember my wife looked at me and said that was the flight. That absolutely was the flight. And it's so funny because a buddy of mine who had a law practice in Boston, was looking to open. He wound up opening an office down in Miami, I think it's in Boca Raton, and he was thinking about opening one up out in L.A. And so he was going out to L.A. on a pretty regular basis. He goes, I have been on that flight to L.A. He goes, I don't know how many times. He goes, when I heard it was that flight, he goes, I was stunned. He goes, you know how many times I've taken that flight? He's like, countless times. He goes out to L.A. to scope out, office space and to meet people and to do, business. And, yeah, and then the other one who missed it was Seth MacFarlane, right? He had tickets on the flight and just was running late and said, I'll get the next one. Well, thanks, Vinny P. I'm glad I dodged it too. What's up, guitarologist? When at the end of the moratorium will bring house prices down a little bit. I have seen in my lifetime many housing bubbles. Eventually the bubble bursts. Usually. There's always, it never quite bursts back to where it was before, but super mega trends always crash. Not quite to where they started, but they do. I've seen it. 2007, 87 was a huge crash. There's probably another one like 91. And I remember a huge buildup, a very large buildup between say 98 and 2008. Well, thanks, Alexander. Well, you may not have gone to Vegas, but you hit the jackpot with the wife. Agreed. So on my list of crap to talk about. Next on the list, after my 9/11 friggin' fiasco, close call, NAMM moved to summer? What are they thinking? So I'm assuming there's going to be no summer NAMM next year. And what I'm really assuming is that they saw the trend for California and that they were probably going to get some pushback for an event that large that's indoors. And I think they didn't have a lot of vendors that were interested. I had heard, the rumor is that they were barely about 50% sold out, which is really bad for this time of year. You know, they want to be like 70 to 80% sold out by now. And they weren't even close to that. And so I think they probably took a bath on Summer NAMM this year. If you look at the video or any of the footage from Summer NAMM, it is a vast canyon, a cavern, if you will, of emptiness. And I saw a lot of empty square footage that probably cost those promoters quite a bit of money. You know, and we'll see. Now they're moving it to the summer. The summer is notoriously busy for Disney, right? The reason why they hold it in January is because Disney kind of doesn't do a lot of business then. There's a lot of hotels open. Of course, that week they gouge you, a little thumb in your eye, but they. You know, because the same hotel that's $90 the week before is like $350 the week of the NAMM show. But they're always $350 when it's Disney time, right? Because you're in like the vacation, you're in like summer vacation time for Disney. So Disney is literally across the street. You can see the goddamn Tower of Terror as you walk into the NAMM show. It's right there. So I just, yeah, exactly. It was a yawning chasm. I think Nashville NAMM is over. Do you know that for a fact, Brad? Or are you just saying like it's over? Like, or are you saying, no, seriously, like officially it's over? Because I wouldn't doubt if it's over, at least in the short term, because they just, I mean, it was pathetic. It was pathetic, the amount of people that showed up to that. You know, and you know how I know it was pathetic? Because everybody I know that ran down there that do YouTube videos didn't make any videos or barely made videos. It was an embarrassing low turnout. You know, and they were like, how much did I spend to come down to this place? You know, I mean, I'm not going to lie. What's that place I like there? Is it Sonia's? Is it Sonia? Which is the southern? What's the southern, it's like a family style. They sit you at a big giant table and they just pass food around until you pass out. That's worth it. That's worth going. The real terror starts when you look at the prices of limited edition Gibsons. Well, you know what the thing is that they wouldn't price them like that if they didn't have a buyer. Someone will buy it, you know. Just remember at any one time, no matter how crappy you're doing, somebody's doing pretty good. Officially over. Okay, they announced it in the video on their website. No way. No way. Oh my God. The NAMM show. Summer NAMM. Okay. Don't know where. Don't know when. But they'll never hold a Summer NAMM show again. No, they'll never hold a Summer NAMM again. What about the vendors? Won't someone think of the vendors? Exactly, NAMM and the clam. Wait a second. I'm just going to throw this out here. Maybe NAMM and the clam ran off together. I'm just saying. They're both missing at the same time. Seems a little suspicious. Yeah, Apple used to have huge conventions, and they pretty much stopped. I think they're sort of doing everything through online now, right? Exactly. Sounds a little fishy. And the lobster's on a roll, exactly. Yeah, listen, don't pay attention to the lobster. He's on a roll. Ben Tom, what's up, buddy? Wow. Yeah, the world has changed. No more summer NAMM. Damn. Exactly. The clam did set the trend. Yeah, I know you're right. You know, let's just acknowledge the fact that clam, with even its, he burned the candle at both ends. Okay. The clam was a trendsetter. Okay, when that clam left, everyone said, you know what? Damn it. He's right. About leaving, about everything. It's a hot shot. So which is your favorite, the Gibby, the Les Paul Classic, or the SG Standard? You know, they're kind of very different from each other, believe it or not, just because of the way their neck shape is a little different. It's got a tiny bit more, rump on the, not a lot, but you can feel it. It's a little bit. The neck on the I'd say the Classic. I'm going Classic. You know, it's a little bit more money. It's a little bit heavier at 10 pounds. But, you know, versus the SG, which is, I want to say, was it 7? Right? It wasn't nearly as heavy. But, you know, there's just something about that, the LP. I like the neck on it. Not that, you know, to cast anything against the SG. Trust me. But if you got to compare the two, I think I'm going LP. You know, I think the extra money is well spent. What's up, Robert, out in Omaha? No, what am I doing? Clam went to Caesar's Palace, and now it's a clam casino. Oh, we got to get the clam puns going. Thanks, Buzz. Every time I hear we'll meet again, I think it's Dr. Strange Love Coffee Fun. Yeah. What model of the Pacific is? I don't really know. I don't think they're marked. I see a serial number, which is QX. And if you look up QX, that stands for, I want to say like 2010, right? And it's made in Taiwan. And attention, not really seeing a number anywhere. What does it say? Oh, it says it's a 912. Oh, why don't you look at the headstock, dummy? I think I will. Oh, look! It says it right there. Jesus Christ! It's like, where's my phone? A good crab joke is hard to crack. I agree. That's the 90s version. They ruined everything, damn it. They ruined it all. So I wonder if they're going to make, like, NAMM permanently in the summer, because that would be stupid. You know, getting rid of summer NAMM and then just doing winter NAMM. You know, that's fine, but not if winter NAMM is going to be in the goddamn summer. Listen, a lot of us go to winter NAMM because we live in a very cold place, like in the Northeast, and, you know, we like to go to the Southwest and enjoy one of your 330 sunny and 70 degree days a year. So, you know, it's a nice little break, you know, after Christmas. And, you know, you spend a lot of time with your family. You just like, see ya. You know. So it's like, I don't know. I just hope it's not a permanent move to the summer because, first of all, I was just at Rascals the other night out in Worcester. And I told him that you should listen, if you want to say Worcester, go, hello, Worcester. They'll know. I was talking, it was Phil X was out there. He was in a band, I think Kurt Deemer, and they were opening, there was another band opening for them, but they were the middle act, and my buddy there, Kieran Robinson, who every time they're in town, I'm like, just let me know, and he throws me on the list. I say, yeah, I'll come out. And this time it was a 2-for-1 because Phil X was here too. So I wound up, you know, hanging out with Phil X and Kieran, and, you know, before the show, and then they played a little bit, and before it really got going, I hightailed it the hell out of there. Worcester! But like, you know, Phil was saying, they're not going to get a lot of people who tour because the summer is touring time. The whole reason why January makes so much sense is because people don't tour around Christmas, then there's a little break, and then maybe they sort of like pick it back up again in February or March when things start to thaw out and there's no more like snow delays, you know, they don't want to have terrible weather, so they really wait until like April or May, and then the tour starts up. You know, maybe March at the earliest, but they really try to wait till like April or May. He's like, and they cram in all these dates between that and like October. He goes, so, to be done before Thanksgiving. And then you have like the holidays off and, in the winter off for a little bit. And then it all starts all over again. He goes, it very is seasonal. And so he felt like you're not going to see, people walking around, the superstars walking around like you would, because they'll be more likely to be touring. And I was like, not even Nico McBrain. He was at the last Winter NAMM. He's a tall guy. Yeah, winter gigging sucks, exactly. Quickly to the coffee. I'm out. Reload. Whip it over. Right, the third or fourth leg of the tour, exactly. Listen, you bought your tickets 15 months in advance. Now it's time to go see the show. Just a little float scheme, little float scheme. Out in the Clamptons. Yeah, maybe my fish move out to the Clamptons. Hey, Chad, thanks, buddy. Steve, so long, been so busy. Hi, Steve. Hey, what's up, Chad? Good to see you, man. We were just talking about NAMM moving to the summer. That's the twice, I think, 3 times I think we've met. Have been at the NAMM show, the Winter NAMM show, Now it's going to be in the summer in the same place. I know some people were looking up hotels, and the hotel rooms were already looking more expensive because you're competing with Disney, so. NAMM, 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 NAMM. NAMM, NAMM, NAMM. This is NAMM, it's wonderful NAMM. I have to think of This is NAMM, it's wonderful NAMM. Gotta think of the chords. I have pictures of me and you at NAMM in the winter. Oh yeah, nice. Ram clam. Yeah, when I was going to Berkeley, like 83, it was a little bit of an eye-opener to drive down Boylston Street and pass by the Boston Ramrod. I was like, what an odd name for a... What is that? What the hell is the Ramrod? But then you'd go by at night, and a lot of the clientele, I would say, looked like they were full Rob Halford. There's a lot of Rob Halford look out there. A lot of leather hats. I was like, oh. It's like the Ramrod. What? That doesn't even make sense. Steve, describe your signature guitar. Who would make it and what would the specs be? That's a good question. Well, I would want to go with the brand that probably made an impact on my life. Something like Kramer or Ibanez or Fender. Those are the 3 brands I sort of played back in the 80s. Those were my main brands. With those 3, I might even go Kramer. Just saying, I'm just throwing that out there. And then, you know, if I was going to design a guitar like that, I'd probably go SM1. You know, I like the neck through, sort of soloist look to it, with an ebony fingerboard, you know, and the either the beak or dot inlays, you know, whatever looks sporting. And then, you know, maybe do 2 doubles. I'd probably avoid a middle pickup. I'd probably do, quite frankly, I'd kind of like the Satriani layout, which is a humbucking single coil, very close to the neck. You know, like this is, like right. Right, there's a certain twang to it, you know. And a humbucker, gotta go humbucker. And then it just comes down to the color, you know, something like a dark green, you know, or dark blue, or, you know, I don't think I'd go too outrageous. I'd want it to be, gotta keep it classy. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be like wicked classy. Something like that. You know, the jalapeno inlays, yeah, the chili inlays, sure. Oh my God, roasted neck with clam dots. Now you're talking clam inlays. So, you know. Do something like that. Something like that. You know, but it would have to be, I think for me, I would feel better that it was a guitar like that, you know, like a Kramer. Something that it's just got a little bit more history to it than some brand new, you know, you with Joey Jojo's, you know, guitar company. Even though Joey Jojo, I'm not going to lie, makes a hell of a guitar. You know what I'm saying? It just, it's not the same, right? It's just not the same. It lacks the gravitas of I think the older brands. And for me, it's also, you know, sort of like part of the rich tapestry that is my life. What is in that coffee? Mother of clam inlays, which is mother of pearl now, isn't it? So part of the reason that I think, part of the reason that I like the chili pepper or the beak headstock or the inlays is because that's what they were using in 1987, right? That was the guitar that was out when I was 21 years old, right? You see, so there is a bit of a nostalgia for me on that. You know, that isn't some brand new design that they just picked up. You know, that was the design in 1987, 1988. And we all loved it. Joey Jojo's Guitar Company on the corner of 5th and Main. We are serving your tri-state area. Clams Casino. Chef recommends. Boy, it's thicker. That's all 3 coils. This guitar sounds good. This is a good guitar, you know. I don't even think they make these anymore. Old Pacifica. exactly the Chili Peppers. All right, what else is on my list here? I already talked about the network update, the failed network update. I couldn't snake that cable. Just give me a second. No pressure. I think I already talked about the night out at Rascals with Phil X and Karen. And I think the only thing I have on here is just, the last thing on the list is what should my next guitar be? That's always a nice little bit of fresh meat to throw out. DiMarzio clambucker. It would have to have a clambucker in it, right? Down at the Drunken Clam, down at Quahog, the Drunken Clam. The Bearded Clam. I remember there was a boat, the Bearded Clam, that went down in the ocean, and they kept saying the name Bearded Clam, and I was just like, oh my God, it's killing me on the news. Coots says an Explorer. I agree. I kind of do like the Explorers. You think I'm holding my next guitar? You're holding your next guitar. Little did he know, he was holding it right then. Yeah, I do like, there's an Epi Explorer. The Brendan Smalls, right? Got the old Floyd Rose. Got a little Floyd Rose on it. Now you're talking. Now you're talking. What else? ESP? Yeah, you like ESP? Clam Greer. She was good in Get Clammy. Music Man Luke series. The problem with ESPs is that if you don't get the LTD, kind of pricey. If you want the letters E, S, and P, it's going to cost you. I got your SM1 Steve. Oh, nice. And the green. There you go. Well, I think Aljon just mic dropped us all. He's got the SM1 Steve, right? In the green. Do you see what he's saying there? You see the shamrock there? I think that means the green. And we'll call it Boston green. You can call it Monster green. You can't call it the Green Monster. Funny how that works. But it is. RD. I do like the RD shape. That is kind of a the RD shape is a I like that shape. I like the RD. I've been his Destroyer. Yeah, but if I'm going to get a Destroyer, I might as well get the Explorer, right? It's like, why not go OG? Ghost Horse. That's the one I was thinking of. Thank you, Alshon. Ghost Horse. That's a great one. That's a great guitar. Again, sort of, it's like an unholy scissoring of the things I like, which is the Explorer shape with that headstock, right? It's got the correct headstock, and Floyd Rose, which is admittedly not a common option on an Explorer. It's usually, most of the time, a stop tailpiece. Usually. Oh, it's RJ. Margie, we were just thinking of what my next guitar should be. And I think Aljon just put it there. It's the Kramer Steve Meister. Dude, the Sam, the Steve Meister. That's why he's the head of marketing, okay? Steve Meister 1 in Celtic Green or Celtic Green. Nice. I love it. Yeah, I love that rig run. Yeah, Al John's making a good point. I did love your rig run now. This is unusually specific, but Tyler says a Gibson Les Paul 70s gold top with the 70 SG pickups. That's unusually specific. Tactical says the E2s are good. Those are the ESPs, right? Yeah, yeah. And not crazy money if you go used. I got an E2 M2 and in the camo, right, for under 1200. Nice. On its way, racing stripe green. Everybody does the racing green. Can't go racing green. You can't call it like British racing green. That's what everybody's doing. No, no, no. I got to go the. I got to go the other. I got to go something like Celtic green, monster green, you know, herbal green. Medicinal green. Only legit medicinal, of course. Call it the Green Monster. The problem is that I think the Green Monster might be a registered trademark owned by the Boston Red Sox. And they got money. They're all too aware of their IP content. You know, you got to be careful. So you can call it Monster Green, right? You could call it Monster Green and there's nothing they could do about it because there are plenty of monsters that are green, you know. But I think if you call it Green Monster, you might be opening yourself up to a little scrutiny. Like a jade green? Yeah, see, that's the kind of green, a ganja green, dude. See, you should be in the marketing department. Now you're talking Jamaican green. People know what we're saying. Greenzilla. Biohazard green. Oh, thanks, Chad. Green Super Chad. I mean, Strad, yeah. Celtic green. All right, and then I'm going to need a clam stand. Like a Shrek green. I think Shrek is a little too, believe it or not, a little too light in color, or a little too green in color, right? It's almost like a little too green. You need something like a little bit more, like a little darker. Toxic green. I'm not using a preamp. I guess I sort of am. I'm going into my Focusrite. It's just a Scarlett 18920. I'm just going straight in, and then I'm using the software, the THU. Booger green, Kermit green. Again, I think you're in trouble with Kermit. Dank green. There you go. Money green. Do you think roasted will become the new norm? I think if roasted gets rid of fret sprout and makes necks more stable, yeah, I think it will, because it will solve a lot of post-sale maintenance, and that's always a good position to be in. Green eggs and clam. Again, I feel like the Seuss people have money. And lawyers. That's the one I'm a little worried about. Again, Grinch green. Yeah, Gangrene. Now you're talking. Yeah, there was a band around here, Gangrene. Remember them? They had that one. They had one song. What was it? Was it Too Drunk to Fuck? Was that their one song by Gangrene? Oh, there you go. Saw Gangrene at the channel. There you go. I see puke green, but I'm just going to be honest. I've never puked up green in my life. I don't think I've ever seen green puke. Too Drunk was Dead Kennedys. Trying to think of what did I'm trying to think. They had a song though. Gangrene was out there. I remember them on the radio. They had one song. Oh yeah, we have cat butt. Mean Joe Green. God, who remembers the Mean Joe Green Coke ad? The Hey Kid, right? That was Mean Joe Green, wasn't it? What's up in the blues? What's it, man? We'll have to do a little blues. Oh my God, Chuck, thanks so much, buddy. Yeah, Chuck, I always feel bad. You never ask a question. I'm like, what can I do for you, man? It's very generous and very appreciated. I'm annoying you neighbors, sorry. Little guitar face. It's really just heavy constipation. I just should not have had gone off on that cheddar cheese jag the other day. Oh, thanks, Chad Boston, man. Very, very generous, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's sex face. This is my sex face. Tell me you saw Weird Al's reaction video, right? If you've missed it, just check out Weird Al just put out a video where he reacts to the latest Drake. You know what? It's so perfect. I'm surprised I didn't think of it first. It's friggin' genius, like only Weird Al can be. What sample rate am I using? I think I'm at 48 kilohertz. 48. I think that's a kitty foot right there. Pretty sure. Pretty sure that's a set of wee boots. No. Waiting on got something on Guitar Center used. The keyboard controller wasn't very expensive, but God, I tried to buy it on Friday. I bought it at like 11 in the morning. They didn't ship it Friday. They didn't ship it Saturday. They didn't ship it Sunday. Of course, Monday was the holiday. They didn't ship it Monday. They finally ship it on Tuesday, but UPS doesn't pick it up until Wednesday. And right now, it left Texas on Wednesday, and they don't know where it is. It hasn't been updated since Wednesday. I'm like, they're like, we will give you an update as soon as we know where it is. Yeah, there it is, C to D. Dad just said, bullcrap, Dad, that's not 48 kilohertz. It is, though. It indeed it is. It is 48 kilohertz. Tickets to a Weird Al concert, and it absolutely blew me away. My wife and I went to go see him, and we laughed our asses off. It was such a good show where I was like, I would see this anytime. He didn't even come around again, but my son really got into him. And then Weird Al came around, and we went to go see him, and they loved it. And my son was so young, you know, I think he was like 5 or 6 or 7, something like that. And he was falling asleep, and we finally woke him up. We were like, it's your favorite song, you know, because he just literally couldn't. He's a kid, can't keep his eyes open. It's nappy nap time. And he saw it, and then he slept the whole way home. God, he was wiped. Just make sure your input, if you can't get it to sound like this, I run my input not hot, but a little hot, a little bit. Because when I go to the single coils, now it's like barely lit. I'm lucky if I get 2 bars. But then when I go to the humbucker, I'm redlining a little bit, but not for very long, for like a split second. Here's that E chord. Yeah, like that. Oh. Looks like my cat when he's wacky on the catnip a little. DCG, is that the PRS? Driving Miss Daisy Green with a clamshell case. We gotta work the clam in somehow. Crikey, an E chord. Steve, would you get a 2020 Fender American Performer Strat hard case for $700? That's a good deal. You know what, dude? Prices are up. A couple of years ago, I would have said $700. That's not a great price. It's an okay price. You might be able to get one for like $650. Not now. Prices are up. Prices are way up. Prices are up a good 20 to 30% easily. What was $299 is now $499. You know, or $399 to $450. You know, everything is up. I have been following stock for 10 years. I'm telling you right now, prices are up. Period. Everyone's shucking around the clampons. And it's just, and again, I'm sort of talking used stuff. It really is supply and demand, because I see keyboards go on there that barely get discounted over new, and they're snatched up instantly because they can't buy them new because they're waiting on back orders, right? And the only way you can get one is used. And they last like literally an hour tops, 2 hours tops, you know. Other keyboards, again, just supply and demand. There's plenty of them, and they're not really in high demand because it's sort of older tech. They languish up there. They you know, they're a hard sell. They eventually get some big discount, and it pushes it out the door. And you see the same thing with the guitars. You know, if it's a really sort of sexy color that's a little uncommon, you know, it'll sell a little faster. If it's a run-of-the-mill black or a sunburst, you know what I'm saying? Something a little bit more standard, then a little bit lower in price, but not really. Prices are up. Everything that was $1,000 is $1,200 now. Period. Just read an article that house paint is the next supply shortage item. I wouldn't doubt it, because a lot of people are discovering home projects because they're not traveling. So you have a little bit of money set aside to do maybe a vacation, and instead you say, you know what, maybe we'll just paint the house, right? So I could see that. I could see home improvement projects like really putting a squeeze on paint supply without a doubt. I know you want to be shocked. Look at used car prices. I know. Yeah, $20 pedals are $35 now. That sounds, yeah, everything's up. Everything's up a good, a good chunk of cash. Which is why I kind of lucked out with that LP. I got that at like about 25% off of retail, used. But that I was very lucky with that. You can't even get them now 25% off. It's sort of ticked down to about 20% off, right? Maybe 15% off, right? They just see that there's, that people ready, willing, and able to spend the money. So why not? Hand it over. Large bills, please. Thank you. I used to be able to find Les Paul studios for $400 to $600 all day. That sounds about right. Yeah. Now they're all $1,000 and up. That is correct. That is correct. And brace yourself, because when the stock supplies of all manufacturers, guys like Fender, Gibson, you know what I'm saying, PRS, when those companies finally blow through their stock and they have to go get more stock and the prices are higher, get ready for the price increases. I think Fender has already increased their prices because they can see the writing on the wall, and they increase it for future, just knowing that future costs are going to be higher. I know the Frankie has gone up, I think, from $16.99 to $18.99. So, they're get ready for the new price increases. Right now, if I'm being honest, I think the Gibson SG Standard is one of the best values on the market. It's under $1,500. It's $14.99. You get the binding on the neck. You get the crown inlays. You get basically what you would get in a Les Paul Standard, except they don't have to carve the top and put the extra piece of wood on it, right? So they save a little bit of money there, and it's $1,000 less than its Les Paul counterpart. I just think it's like the best value on the market. In the Gibson lineup for sure is the SG Standard. It really is. But it's not for everyone. But I just think when you look at like all the features, if you break down the feature set and you look at it and you go through their lineup, it's like their least expensive guitar with binding and the crown inlay, right? Yeah, the EVH stuff went up. I think I would brace yourself for, other brands. I think all manufacturing is going to have to lay on a 10, 15, 20, 30% increase. It's just going to happen at some point. I think Fender's already started it, and brace yourself for next year. They'll hold out as long as they can, but at some point it's going to go up. Just picked up a 77 Ibanez. Oh, a 2454. Yeah. That's the right the like their 330 copy. Yeah. 335 copy. 330. Yeah. Plus you get the SG Mojo. That's priceless. Yeah, Eric puts up a good point. He says, you can get the Epiphone. You'd save yourself $1,000, right? You could probably get the Epiphone for $499 versus $14.99. But still, if you want an American-made Gibson guitar, I just think that Gibson SG Standard, every time I play it, I'm like, it's hard to believe. The guitar feels like it should be about $18.99, $19.99. Doesn't quite feel $14.99, right? Feels like it's a little underpriced. Smile said McDonald's used to be free. Now they're $10.99. Damn it. I mean, just look at anybody out there who puts computers together, even casually, knows that there's a massive chip shortage right now. You know, there's a handful of, Ryzen chips out there. Most of them are being jacked up 50 to 100% over retail. And forget about video cards. That's 100 to 200% over retail. $500, $300 card. Yeah, we only want $1,200 for it. So it's a joke. It's a friggin' joke. It's going to take a little while for that to, and quite frankly, I hope a lot of people lose their friggin' shirt in the process for trying to gouge. But we'll see. We'll see. You can only pray that somebody bought a video card for $700 that's worth $300 to try and get $1,000 for it, and at the end of the day, they never sell it, and it winds up falling back to $300, and they spent $700 on that card to speculate, and they got burned. That's the only thing you can hope for, but who knows if it's going to happen. So is the Frankie up to $19.99? I had heard the Frankie went up to $18.99, not $19. Stop buying stuff. Well, where's the fun in that? That sounds boring as shit. You sit around and stare at each other? Knock yourself out, brah. The Frankie kit? I don't know. I've never seen the Frankie kit. 10 minutes remaining? Really? Oh my God, it is. Jesus. Night went fast. Night went fast. Just remember, I think the moral of the story is no layovers. No layovers. It's no big deal. We've reached a plateau on graphics anyway. 3K cards to play Cyberpunk. I know. You know what? The only reason I like them, the only reason that really helps me is that Adobe has figured a way to harness the power of the GPU to render my video. And it takes my render time and literally cuts it by 75%. What would take 2 minutes for every minute of footage, right? So you're rendering footage at the end, but it has to do all this calculation shit. So it doesn't run in real time, right? It runs at half the real time. It takes 2 minutes to render 1 minute of footage until I use my GPU. Since I've been able to do that, and you need an RTX 20 series, 2000 series or higher, 2000 series or 3000 series, it can harness those CUDA cores, and it goes from 2 minutes for every minute of footage rendered to 30 seconds of rendering time for every minute of footage. I cannot tell you the time saver on that. Cannot even impart the level of time saving to go from 2 minutes for every minute to 30 seconds for every minute. It's noticeable. And the only way it works is if you have one of the latest cards. The price of sugar, you need to be a Rockefeller. You think that's bad. The price of sugar in the early 70s was crazy. And it's funny you say Rockefeller. I remember there was a guy, this elderly guy next door when I was a real little kid. He had a printer. He ran a printing press next to us. You know, he ran a printing place, and you could go in there and get cards made and stock made and all this stuff from the guy next door. He ran a printing press. And he used to come in and hang out and be quiet. He'd come over to my dad's pet store. He was always going, the Rockefellers, $250,000 in taxes. In taxes. I'm going, is that a lot? I'm 7. Have a good one, Coots. Thanks for hanging out. Just bought a Fender Standard Strat for $389 from Guitar Center. I see a lot between, like, say, $399 and like $450. You know, so they're out there. They're out there. M1 and Max are great at rendering, but spring for the 16 gigs of RAM. Oh, yeah. That 8 gigs of RAM, dude, they don't want to admit it, but they're reading and writing off that SSD so many times, they're going to wear the piss out of that thing, you know, with their page file access, because 8 gigs of RAM is just too little. I run 32 gigs of RAM in this computer and the computer in the attic. That's what you need for, basically, for, you know, for Premiere, Adobe Premiere. You need 32 gigs. Quite frankly, I'm surprised I didn't do 64. You mean Dublin? You mean in Dublin? It's in Dublin. Greetings from Nova Scotia. The Frankie there is 2,500. Yikes. Day trip, brah. Down to Maine. Well, that's probably a pretty long trip. Coming down from way up. Yeah, Nova Scotia's up there. Way past, I guess that would be what, New Brunswick? Yeah, rendering scales best with cores. I agree. I got 8 cores, 16 threads. The threads actually do add about a 20% boost, even though they're kind of fake. It does, kind of works. Run 32 gigs on your iMacs, yeah, Intel Silicon, yeah. I just think when you get 16's fine, but I think when you get down to 8, I don't care how efficient they are. You know, at some point you're running out of space, especially if you're trying to do anything other than like surf the net. I just think you're constantly page filing like crazy, and you're just going to wear. There's only unlike a hard drive, and even those are, you know. But hard drives, so spinny hard drives, they last forever. Not so much the SSDs. There is a finite amount of read-write, and then it really starts to go to a lot of errors. $928 on your server. Nice. I remember in 1999. I think it was 99, we brought in a server that ran, I think it had 24 gigs of RAM, which at the time was like just unheard of. And of course, to get 24 gigs of RAM, you probably had to populate 12 sockets, right? Because the most amount you could get on a single stick was like 2 gigs. 5-minute warning, damn. Well, I got to admit, I'm getting kind of hungry. I'm ready for some dinner. Win 10 is so bloated, steals more than half your RAM. You gotta go in there as soon as you load it. There's a whole process you can go through to get rid of a lot of that crap. I pretty much go through it. I actually have a great little batch file that I use to get rid of OneDrive. It pretty much just kills the process, goes in and strips it out of the registry and out of the system. It's actually pretty slick. It's a great little, I use it over and over and over again. Every time I do a new install, I have to go back in. And once in a while, OneDrive, they keep pushing it down to you. OneDrive will show back up again. But you just run the little batch file. Blink, 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 gone. It gets out of the left-hand column, right? Gets out of everything. It stops loading. I have to say it's a pretty good little batch. You know. Cassette 4 tracks. I had one. I had the Porta Studio. I don't know what's going to be for dinner. They went down to pick up some artwork that my daughter was teaching at like some art studio down in Cohasset. And they had a like a Mexi restaurant, and I know my wife would want to go there and try and get some food. So there could be Mexi leftovers waiting for me. That would be perfect. If that's not there, well, we'll figure out. But I'm pretty starving. I don't think I had much today other than a bowl of Cheerios. Just got a new i9 10900K. Look at you. 128 gigs of RAM, 34 terabytes of disk space. Nice. Nice. That's a respectable neighborhood. Yeah, and turn off the telemetry too. Exactly. I don't need you to like suggest stuff for me. Stop like, installing apps for me. It's all a big pain in the ass. That's why they just want, they want so hard to have a friggin' app store. But I even think that their app store has really, those new gen apps they haven't gone anywhere because they're just too weak. If you ever ran one, it runs like a friggin' web applet. It's like, they're just garbage. I mean, they're fully sandboxed, but they're crap. Who wants to run them? One thing you say about Apple is that, and I'm sure it's using Rosetta or some other friggin' way to get around it, but their emulation works, right? And it doesn't steal too much CPU out of it, but God, the Windows. Last food you would choose to eat if you could eat one thing? I don't know. That Popeye's chicken sandwich is pretty damn good. Just saying. All right, dudes. We are at 9 p.m. And I'm sure they want to get out of lockdown. And I'm actually getting pretty hungry. I'm ready. I'm ready for dinner at 9 p.m. And maybe close up. It's getting muggy. I can feel it. Close up and get the air conditioner going. All right, dudes. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Super, mega, extra thanks to anyone who contributed tonight, especially Chad and Chuck, who I know really contributed quite a bit. I was very, very appreciative of that. And, of course, a mega shout out to me Mod Squad. And I really appreciate all the work that you do. And I'll see you in a week. And maybe this week I can get a video out. Last week I got all screwed up with something. Was it another rain? No, it wasn't a rainstorm. I forget what it was, but something got me thrown off. And this week, well, you know what? The kids went back to school this week, and so next week, well, everything will be full on. It's a tough week anyway. No, you rock. And Buzz Wilson too. I know he donated just off the top of my head. I'll be Tony too, I think. Anyway, no, you rock. And I'll see you in a week. And until then, no, you rock. All right, dudes. Have a wonderful weekend and week. And see ya in a week. Later.